G'day everyone, welcome back. Another episode of Explore Rigs. Now, we've got a bit of a special one this week. We got a good mate of mine, Mick from Airing Down. What's going on?
Mate, it's good to be here, and it's good to finally reveal the 200 series ute chop that we've been building on the sideline. And let's get into it.
Mate, she's an absolute monster. Let's start with, what was it before you did everything?
Well, when we first started off, it was a 2018 Toyota Land Cruiser GXL 200 series. Now, we ordered it from Black Toyota out west, and I said, guys, I just want it plain Jane. Send it to Custom RV Creations, and we're going to do a cut. And they were pretty surprised with what we were going to do. But anyway, it rocked up on a truck. The boys got stuck into it, and they lobbed the rear end off this. And at the same time, we actually chopped the chassis by and extended it by 750 mil. So
Nice.
not a big, not a small task, but here it is now.
A mammoth task. So we started with a bog stock 200, well, not bog stock, but a 200 series, and now we've got a 750 mil chassis extended weapon, basically.
Yeah, touring weapon, I reckon.
Touring weapon. All right, that brings me into my next question. Why? Why did you do that? What's it all about?
Oh, look, everyone's probably going to give us a bit of a piss take here, but look, Stace and I, we're getting married early next year, and we're probably going to be looking at having kids in the next few years. And for us, the wagon, mate, it was just getting too small, especially with our dog Ziggy that we've got now too. So as you probably know, a couple of you guys may know, we had a wagon 200 series previously before this.
Yep.
And when you've got 2 fridges, a drop-down kitchen, all your camping gear, it really does just get bloody compact. Like you've got your 76.
I got a 76, and I know all about not having a bucket load of room.
Exactly. So it came up with a crazy idea. Still can't believe Stacey said we're going to do it, and mate, ordered the new truck, and that's why we've done it.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's as good a reason as any.
Yep.
All right, well, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start from the front of the truck. We'll
Cool.
work our way through. Let's dive into all the products. Let's kick it off up front. Bull bar work, what are we running?
Yep, we've got the TGM bar work on this one up the front. I wanted something a little bit different. I love the new front end on these 200 series cruisers. So I thought the TGM one just complements the look of the truck really well with that front grille.
Yep.
Along the side, we've got the tough dual side rails.
Something a bit different.
Something a bit different. You ran them same ones on our previous 200 series as well.
Yep.
I think we sparked a little bit with that, and we just wanted to keep that going with this car. I think, again, it complements the size of the car really, really well because they're just those big, beefy tubes.
Yep. No, the tough bars look good. All right, we'll run through what is on the bull bar. So run me through your winch.
We've got the Runva 13,000 pound winch. We actually did something pretty trick with Drover as well. We installed a in-cab switch so that we can run the winch out, run the winch in from in the cab. So I thought that was pretty special, especially for when we're winching away. We can just do it while pressing the accelerator at the same time, not having to worry about remotes, wires to the winch, anything like that.
Yep.
We've got the Livid Spotlights on the front as well, which, God, they are bright. They light up the light up the night, definitely.
Yep.
And then we've got the GME antenna, which is running our GME UHF XRS Connect, the best that I've used to date, and really cool features on it.
Nice. No, well, it definitely sets it off. I guess we'll probably talk about this a little bit throughout the truck, but tell me about the coating on the bull bar.
Coating on the bull bar. So again, I wanted something different on this build, and I wanted something pretty tough that we can, you know, if we get scratches, if we get dings, we can pretty much coat it back up with this tough liner, or it's what is it? It's the it's Raptor liner. It's Raptor liner that we're using.
That's it.
And you can spray that on, you can patch it all up, and the good thing about it is that, you know, it blends in really nicely so that it doesn't stick out like dog balls with you know, different paint jobs.
We might talk about touching some things up at the back of the truck when we get to the back. Wait for that one.
We may have done that.
All right, cool. Well, while we're up front, let's under the hood, run us through what engine modifications have you got going on?
Look, we haven't done too much yet with the power modifications. My previous 200 series, we went to town with that. Had the cross-country intercoolers, had everything. This one, we've only done a primary fuel filter So we've got the 2 fuel filters in there because I just think it's really important to have clean fuel going into these injectors and these V8s.
Yep, protect the new diesel motors.
Absolutely. We've got the catch can in there as well. Just you don't want that oil getting through your intercooler in there. Pretty important as well.
Yep.
What else we've got the Safari R-Max snorkel as well, so we've got that clean air. I've also got a custom air box coming in from Moonlight very shortly, which is going to be installed. So I want to eliminate all dust going into those turbos because it's one of those things that do happen on the VDJs.
Yep, I don't know anything about dust in my turbos. All right, so we'll move into the cab. Any main accessories throughout the dash?
On the dash, we've obviously done a roof console on the top. Drover and Custom RV made a custom little bracket for some rocker switches and also one of the Enerdrive ePro Pluses. That way we can monitor the batteries in the dog box. We've also got our RAM mount for the iPad, which I think is pretty important when you're off-road. You want to be running your off-road maps and you want it to be really close to you.
What do you pick for your off-road maps? Just a side question.
Yeah, we run HEMA. We've used that for a fair few years now and we find it pretty easy to navigate with. We run both the apps there that they have, so they're pretty good. Beautiful.
All right, seats, still run standard seats because they're probably comfortable as buggery anyway.
They are, mate. These ones have the lumbar support from the factory, which is a big bonus.
Sometimes I put a pillow behind me.
That was one thing that I just did not want to run anymore, so we've got the lumbar support. But no, we've got the MSA canvas covers in this one, so they're protecting the standard seats in the truck, and so far so good, very comfortable, easy to keep clean, and keeping that sand and mud off the seats.
All right, what about the back seat setup? Pretty standard?
Back seat setup's pretty standard, apart from the canvas seat covers again. Yep. But behind that seat, we have actually been able to install a gun locker. Nice. Pretty cool. So, for when we are doing those hunting trips, you do want to have an area where you can lock away the guns. So we've got that in the back. Otherwise, we can run it, if we're not carrying guns, we can run it for spare parts. So perfect. We've got spare filters in there and most of our tool bags as well.
Just don't give Stace a key to the gun locker.
Don't give Stace. No, I'd be dead.
All right. Now we're getting to the exciting part. We'll tray and canopy. Let's break it up because I know the canopy is 2 separate sections. So talk us through the tray first and the side boxes, and then we'll move on to the canopy.
Yeah, absolutely. So the tray itself, we wanted to still be able to use this car as a ute. So it meant by building 2 boxes, we could take the rear canopy off, still have ability to run a ute, which was really important for us.
Yep.
And why we've done that, with that also, we've had the dog box in that area, so for Ziggy. Yeah, and we've got the dog. We don't want dog hair in there. And mate, with the amount of beach work we do, he's sandy and wet, and it's not fun in a new car.
Yeah.
On the other side, we're running our fridge. So we've got a fridge that's constantly in the car. Yep. So especially if we're doing those trips over to Fraser Island, drop off the rear camper, we can still go do our day trips and have the fridge in there, and I think that's really important.
Perfect. What about the couple of little tool boxes that you got on the sides? What's
tool boxes on the sides? We've got a twin ARB air compressor in one of them, so we can pump up the tyres. Especially when you air down, you've got to pump up those tyres. And we're also running a little water pump in there because we've got an 80-litre water tank underneath there.
Yep.
And that just means that we can have a shower, wash down the dog, or wash down the surfboards, kayaks when we're taking those on our trips as well.
Perfect.
And then also underneath there, we've got the 270 litres of diesel in the truck because we've got the ARB Frontier poly tank underneath. So
perfect. So what does that give you as a total litrage?
270 litres of diesel.
Yep.
Which means
270.
270.
Nice.
Just got my new credit card so I can get all the points. And it just means that we can now do, I think, we can do roughly 1,400 Ks because she does like to drink.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, yeah, it might be a tad on the heavy side.
Absolutely.
All right. The canopy, the actual secondary canopy box.
Yep. So secondary canopy box, we wanted to jam pack that full of gear that we're going to use. we did want to try and eliminate having bags and having boxes and having everything running around in that canopy. So we got Dun & Watson to build us up a custom set of drawers in the back, as you can see. We've got a couple there for clothes, a couple there for spare parts, and then we've got the other side which has got all our kitchen in it.
Yep.
So we can run all our pantry, we can run all our utensils and everything in one, and we've also got a little pull-out table underneath that, so that when we're on the side of the road, we can quickly make up a feed.
So your kitchen setup, that's a clear view?
Kitchen setup then is next to that, and that's on the clear view drop-down slide, and then we've got the clear view pantry. Now that is a cool bit of gear. It's even got the kitchen sink, would you believe it or not? And it just means that it just makes life a hell of a lot easier for us for when we're cooking. Yeah,
it's definitely one of those things when you're touring, you just want a home for everything. You
Absolutely.
don't want shit banging around, and
Absolutely.
you want a spot for everything, which you seem to have.
Yeah, that's what we've made from the get-go. That's what we wanted. It's just things to go into places, and they're not going to get destroyed.
All right. And obviously that's a jack-off canopy as well.
Jack-off canopy, legs go on.
Jack it off.
Yep, away we drive.
I guess while we're talking about the canopy then, let's go to the top of the truck. You've got the Alucab tent.
Alucab tent, it's been a great tent for us so far. We have modified it on the top by putting a little fan. Some people might get the smell every now and then when it gets damp, but we've got the little fan up there, which has been a pretty cool mod that has worked.
Perfect.
We've also got the Alucab shadow awning up there. And that just means that we get that massive big area of shade.
Coverage. So, and then on the other side, you've got an awning as well.
Yeah, we've got the Rhino awning on there. That sits on the Rhino rack as well. And then again, we've got the full array of lights. We've got twin spotlights on the sides. And then we've got the big spotlight along the front as well with the light bar. And that just means that when we're traveling at night, we've got no issues with seeing livestock or kangaroos out in the bush.
Perfect. And then you've also got that little bit of recovery gear. So you shovel and of course...
And the high lift jacks. And the, max tracks.
Yeah, max tracks.
Max tracks and high lift jack.
Yeah. That's the canopy done and dusted. Let's
done.
Talk about the underneath. Obviously, you've already had the 750mm chassis extension. Run us through suspension, wheels, tyres.
So the biggest thing with these 200 series chops is the GVM. GVM is really important when building these cars because the overall weight of the vehicle really adds up very quickly. So we got the Lovell's 4-ton GVM upgrade in this, which is a bolt-in kit. So really easy for us, all being pre-approved for a second stage manufacturing plate, which is really good on there. So that means that we got to lift up the front quite a bit. We've got the rear lifted as much as we can as well. We're then running the Airbag Man suspension, which has got a in-cab controls as well, which is awesome. It means that on the fly, if we've got a lot of weight in the back, if we fill up more fuel, etc., we can bring up the airbags to where we need them to be to make the car a bit more comfier. Which is a great bit of kit. They're rated to 60 PSI, believe it or not, which is just incredible.
Out of control.
Yeah.
So it's essentially a 2-inch lift throughout, or a little bit more on the front?
Yeah, probably a little bit more on the front. We've been able to tweak it up. We've done the diff drop. We've done the upper control arms. We've done the lower control arms on the rear. And we've also done the sway bar on the rear as well. We've upgraded that.
So is that part of the GVM, or is that
not part of the GVM? Just part of, I want to upgrade the gear to make it more reliable for when we are out bush.
Sick. All right, wheels and tyres. They are a pretty good looking set of wheels and tyres.
Yeah, some could say a little bit over the top, but no, they look good, and I think they're going to be great for us for the trips that we're looking at doing. So we've got the Allied Brutes on there. We stuck with the 17-inch rims because any bigger, you sort of just lose that sidewall. So we've done that, and we're running the 315 Cooper STTs, which at the moment they've been fantastic for the bit of mud we've done and the sand work we've done.
No, it's definitely a good looking combination, mate. It really does. Sort of set it off. Now, I guess another important thing that we'll probably have to talk about as its own topic would be electronics. I know you guys have sort of gone to town.
Yeah, it's we've definitely gone to town on this one.
Run us through all the majors.
So I teamed up with Drover, who you deal with as well,
Yep.
Anthony there.
Legend.
Really good bloke, knows what he's doing. And I wanted to come up with something really quite custom and unique for this car. So we went to the guys at Enerdrive and said to them what we're doing, and they really wanted to get involved. Threw us some new bits and pieces that they want to get out, release out to the market, and that's what we're going to be trialing. So we've got in the back, we're running 125 amp hour lithium battery in the dog box.
Yep.
That's running our one Engel 40 litre in there,
Yep.
And also the rest of the truck. We're running a 200 amp hour lithium battery in the rear canopy. Both have separate chargers, so DC to DC chargers. In the rear canopy, we're also running a 2000 watt inverter for coffee machines, camera charge ups, etc.
Perfect.
And then that's also got a solar input from the solar panel that's up on the alley cab.
Is that 100 watt?
130 watt, solar panel. And then also up the front under the bonnet, these 200 series only come with a single start battery. So I didn't want to run the risk of working it too hard if we were going to be winching.
Yep.
So we have put in a second battery up the front as well, just to help out when we're running the winches, running all the lights, and just making sure that we've always got that backup start battery as well, just in case one does fail.
Happy days. Well, we've just about got it all covered.
Yeah, and I will just touch on, in that rear canopy, we have installed a new LCD screen.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That allows us to go through all our tank levels. We can even run temperature gauges. So in the back where Ziggy is, it does get hot in those dog boxes. So
yeah,
we're going to actually put a temperature gauge in there. I know, so that we can, when we're running along on the highway, we've got our Bluetooth monitor, so we can check out the temperature gauge in there and make sure that Ziggy's all good.
Oh, he gets spoiled.
He gets spoiled, that dog.
He's spoiled
Absolutely,
rotten.
absolutely.
All right, perfect, mate. Well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to cover on this absolute monster.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot to look at on this one. Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to roll into a few of our questions that we're going to finish this up with.
Yep.
What is your number one favourite modification on the vehicle? You get to pick one.
Well, it has to be the Ute Chop.
The Ute Chop.
Yep, has to be the Ute Chop. I think it just means that you get so much more usable space now on the rear. So that would be definitely my favourite.
Well, that was probably your most expensive modification, so I'm glad it was your favourite.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
All right. What's the one modification that really is just the biggest wank factor, but you did it anyway?
35-inch tyres.
You didn't need them?
Oh, shit, no. 35-inch tyres, let me tell you, have been the biggest pain in my ass. Trying to fit them underneath the 200 series Cruiser is like just
a nightmare.
Nightmare. You've got so much stuff that you've got to try and, shave off here and there just to make them turn. And no, if you're going to do them, stick with your 33s or maximum go to a 34, but 35s... pain in the ass.
All right, so if someone's sitting at home right now and they're thinking about doing a new build, what would be, I guess, 3 modifications without chops and going over? What's 3 modifications for someone building a new truck that you think, they're the first 3 things you would do?
Okay, first thing would be 100% have a really good recovery kit. So that includes your max tracks, a good long-handled shovel, and a high lift jack. I think that's really important. And plus, obviously, your snatch straps and everything.
Yep.
Second would be bull bar. I think having a bull bar on the front of your vehicle just gives you the ultimate protection for anything.
Yeah.
And then secondly, you can get away with your standard suspension for a little while. So I'd be saying a set of good off-road tyres that you can rely on.
Yep. Perfect. So recovery, bull bar, off-road tyres.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right, last question.
Here we go.
Future mods. That's now look, normally this is a question that should have a lot of answers.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if Stacey's going to let you do any more modifications, but if there was something else that you could throw on it, what is there anything else that like right away?
Right away, I think definitely we're going to have a play with a little bit of the power.
Yep. Which
Which route we go down, I really don't know. Remat chip, there's so many arguments, so many benefits to each.
Yep.
I think we're going to have either dabble with both or, you know, in one of those. And then
Safari, ECU.
maybe. And then also probably play around with the exhaust.
Yeah.
I just, you know, it's a V8.
Yeah,
Sometimes you want to hear a V8, and I think that's what we'll probably end up doing.
Perfect. Well, look, I tell you what, absolutely stoked to have the big rig on here. It is a monster. If you've got any questions, make sure you leave a comment, because there's probably things we've missed.
Yep.
I'll make sure Donnie gets on there and answers them. Now, look, a few tags for you, mate. Jump over. He has got a channel coming up on YouTube, Airing Down. It will show you from start to finish the full build of the truck.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, a lot more detail than what we went into, which I'm definitely looking forward to. Jump over on Facebook and Instagram, Airing Down. Follow along Mick and Stace, as I'm sure they're going to take this thing on a bucket load of adventures. Once again, thanks for having us. Thanks for me having you.
No worries, mate. I appreciate that.
Make sure you give it a like and a subscribe to see plenty more Explore rigs. Cheers, guys.